The Browns drive about to get started, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The results for them so far, not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo! Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hit it.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Locke throwing on target to Fant, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey.
On 1st down, Locke escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Bobo's the mic. Mike's Bobo. There's a party now.
Hey, foxtrot.
44.
Here's Locke to throw. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
On second down, Mayfield again. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and it'll bring up third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
180. 65.
They go play action. Mayfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
And especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, one thing's for sure. When you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check 24, check 24, check 3, check 3. Showing up.
Chubb on the counter, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Mayfield this time gets it off to Chubb, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. To throw, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They run. Chubb. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Mayfield on play action. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Mayfield now. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 13-yard line.
First down, Browns.
Mayfield now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky. Check 15. Kill. Real. Undercut.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And this one's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Seibert's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Landry now on the return. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kamale Correa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Play fake. Mayfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 37. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield. Lock. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Five. General West. Mike, 44. Come on, boy. Five.
Throwing his lock on third down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Hey, watch the shot. Hey, Haywood. 58, come on. Watch the screen. Pass. At 58, let's go.
On first and 10, here's Locke. Got a man open, it's Sutton. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
11 yards.
Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Another run by Lindsey. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. From the gun on third down, Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On first down, Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the Browns' 24-yard line.
Down. 70. Indy. 53. Hey, exit.
All right, D. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Down.
Lock to throw on second down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On third down, Lock. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Big stop, let's go.
They'll go for it. It's Locke. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Myles Garrett. And this Browns defense stands tall. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. Bulldozes past him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now Chubb running right. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A 54-yard attempt.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Here's Mayfield. And the pressure gets to him again. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Let's go, D. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's locked. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Cleveland, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.